The way I first learned about wave tech, what became wave tech, was a phone call from Dan Dury. And Dan had this a little bit silly idea that we were going to hang a diagnostic instrument from the operating microscope to help inform docs on making decisions relative to lens power and so forth. Dan knew that I don't like diagnostics, and I was pretty skeptical. But he was persuasive. He asked me to come look. He described to me with passion how it could change the outcomes for patients and hence be better for the doc. And so ultimately I said, okay, we'll listen. That started the process, and then Versant, in a while, led the first investment in WaveTech.
About 8 years ago, I was invited to a meeting at the American Academy of Ophthalmology of a group of KOLs, and Dan Dury invited all of us to attend with a couple of private equity people. I remember Versant Ventures being there, among others, and Ed Holland, Steve Lane, Dick Lindstrom. We were all meeting to discuss this new idea that Dan had discovered, which was the idea of intraoperative aberrometry. And Dan thought this idea was exciting, and after looking at the idea, we all agreed that this was an idea that really had possibilities. And because we all believed in it, and the venture capitalists believed in it as well, the company WaveTech was started, and from that humble beginning, it went on to become quite a success story in refractive cataract surgery.
I met Tom in the early 90s. I worked for Chiron and Tom worked for IOLAB. And we both had the same job. We were the top commercial guys at both companies. And so we merged the companies together, and I met Tom sitting across the table negotiating a transaction. And when you're in the merger mode, you start looking around at guys. When two companies are being put together to form one, you start looking across the table to see who is the guy on the other side that has the exact same job as you do, because there's really going to only be one job when the merger is completed and done. So I looked over at Tom, and he was giving me the stink eye, and I was looking back at him, giving him the stink eye. But to tell you the truth, I very quickly realized that he was a lot better being the top commercial guy than I ever could think about being. So I had to find something else to do, because Tom was going to be the top commercial guy. And he did it, and he did it very well. And he's done that at every stop in his career.
One of the things that was precious in the WaveTech experience is not only did Dan come up with the idea and have the vision of what it could mean, he stayed with that project through its ups and downs from the beginning to the end. His voice had influence through the whole process. And then when Tom joined as the CEO, the trust relationship that Dan and Tom had helped the company blossom and become efficient and focus forward.
So I came into Alcon in May of last year in 2014, and I remember going to my first advisory board meeting in late April at ASCRS, totally new to ophthalmology, and I remember hearing Ike Ahmed and Steve Lane and others talk about aberrometry and having no idea what that term meant, and Googling it, underneath the table during the meeting. And I think, as my team internally at Alcon, and then ultimately Tom Frenzy and the team at WaveTech educated me about really the power and the potential for patient outcomes and enhancing both clinical practice as well as the way that patients see through Aura and the platform that they've developed with Verify and now Verify Plus software. I realized there was tremendous potential.
My second interaction with Tom was to join his board at Refractech, and I've often joked that was much like being asked to join the fire department when the fire trucks were pulling up to cool off the chimney after the house had burned down. So I was very thankful for that opportunity. But I saw something in Tom, leadership through a very, very difficult period, which is when you find out what people are really all about. Is not when things are going great and they're getting awards. You find out what people are all about when times are tough. Do they stay composed? Do they break under the pressure of horrible circumstance? And I was so impressed with how Tom handled that adversity it was something that I never forgot and something that I wanted to associate with as we moved down the road in our careers. So every opportunity from that point forward that I had a chance to work with Tom, I took it.
I have to tell you, one of the main honors to be able to give a congratulations here is, Dan, as a fellow of yours 24 years ago, I got to see that enthusiasm, that energy that you had for innovating on a daily basis, and the ideas that you've had to help make this world a better place. So for me, it's been really, really exciting and rewarding to see you be recognized for not only the beautiful idea you had in intraoperative aberrometry, but to actually see it come to fruition. And to also see through a leader like Tom Frinzi, we all know, we all have seen great ideas not really develop to the place where a company like Alcon is going to take it and deliver it to the world. And to have Tom, really take the football and run and take it to another level and help us get to what we needed to for commercialization was just an amazing compliment to see the wonderful innovation and idea you had, Dan, but to see what a wonderful CEO can do to actually bring it to fruition in the marketplace. And I applaud you both, and I congratulate you both.
Those of you who know Tom and have had a chance to get to know him, as I've had the privilege to do since last summer, know him to be someone who's an incredibly purpose-driven leader and who creates really high-performing teams and an environment of collaboration both internally and externally, as we've seen, Tom, between our teams. And in addition, you're someone who's incredibly dedicated to the practice and betterment of ophthalmology and really dedicated to surgical customers all over the world. And so on behalf of Alcon, I want to wish you congratulations for this award, the 2015 Ophthalmology Innovation Award.
Tom, congratulations on winning the 2015 Ophthalmology Innovators Award. You've had a career where you've faced the highs and seen the lows, and yet you stayed in the arena and you continued fighting, and now you find yourself winning this prestigious award. All of your friends could not be prouder of you. Thanks for being in this industry. Thanks for being my friend, and most of all, well done.
Dan and Tom, as a colleague and a friend, and frankly, an admirer, I want to congratulate both of you and each of you for winning this well-deserved 2015 Ophthalmology Innovation Award. Congratulations.
So congratulations, Tom and Dan, for receiving the 2015 Ophthalmology Innovation Awards. If I go to battle, I want to be with the both of you at my side. I can't think of two better people than you two, and this award is richly deserved.
So Tom, I hope you're going to get a rest in between your CEO roles and your next venture, and I'm sure you'll be successful at that, but I hope you'll take some time on the beach and some time with your family to celebrate what you've accomplished with WaveTech. And I know our team at Alcon, particularly in marketing, is really excited now that we can add the words award-winning to the entire Aura and Verify platform. Congratulations again from all of us at Alcon.
I think the most gratifying aspect of the acquisition, beyond the dollars and cents, is when you think about Alcon's footprint worldwide and the fact that over the next 5 to 10 years, millions of patients are going to benefit or have the benefit of improved outcomes post-cataract surgery, and that's really worth celebrating.